Continue until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Most of the other Illinois tollways looking good. It's slow on the eastbound side of I-80 due to roadwork from Briggs to before US 30. 8094 on the eastbound side is slow from the Bishop Ford to Calumet Avenue. Eastbound on I-94, it's heavy from I-65 to the Ridley exit ramp. Get traffic and weather together on the 8s every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
AccuWeather forecast for today, warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sun. A high today of 85, but staying in the 70s to the lakefront. Tonight, partly cloudy. Lows between 65 and 70. Right now, 81 degrees at O'Hare, 83 at Midway, 69 at the lakefront. WBBM News Time, 10:30. This is Chicago's all-news station. News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM and WBBMNewsRadio.com. Good morning, I'm Rob Hart. These are the top stories on News Radio, WBBM. 2 people have been killed in gun violence across Chicago at the start of the weekend. The body of a second person has been found after a boating incident on Chicago's southwest side this week.
$45 billion worth of infrastructure and a 19-cent gas tax increase are a go. I'm Dave Dahl in Springfield.
WBBM Sports.
There's this Rick Gregg. Cubs and Reds again today. They wait word on Cole Hamels' injury while they start Jose Quintana. White Sox start Ivan Nova against the Twins.
AccuWeather forecast for today, warm and humid with a mix of clouds and sun. A high today of 85, but staying in the 70s along the lakefront, going down to 70 degrees tonight. It's 81 degrees at O'Hare under fair skies. Feels like 84. WBBM News Time, 10:31. This portion sponsored by the Goodman Theater. And topping our news at the half hour, the start of the weekend has seen gun violence that has left at least 2 people dead, and at least 19 others have been wounded. The most recent deadly shooting happened just after 5:30 this morning in the East Garfield Park neighborhood. Residents on Huron near Kedzie reported hearing gunfire, and police say a man believed to be around 26 was found unresponsive in a gangway with 3 gunshot wounds and pronounced dead. A second body has been found by rescuers in the aftermath of Wednesday's capsizing of a 26-foot recreational boat in the Sanitary and Ship Canal on the southwest side. The body was found in the water near Pulaski. Rachel Torbert with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources says searchers aren't yet done with their work.
The Illinois Department of Natural Resources Conservation police officers are still out actively searching for the remaining 2 passengers who were on that boat.
The cause of the wreck remains under investigation. Governor Pritzker has put his signature on the state's $45 billion infrastructure bill, which will mean some higher costs and another big change.
Gambling expansion and, yes, that doubling of the state gas tax help pay for this.
Let's talk about the depreciation, driving over potholes, and, the enormous safety hazards that exist on bridges. That's costing people about $500 a year. In addition to that, the lost time and congestion because of the infrastructure failures, the opportunity cost has been added up. That adds up to between $1,200 and $2,600 per vehicle, per family, per year.
Governor Pritzker says that increase almost 30 years ago was not indexed to inflation. Springfield, Dave Dahl, News Radio 105.9 FM.
The new gambling expansion means that Waukegan is finally getting a casino.
After more than a decade of waiting and already having a 32-acre site picked out, a casino is coming to Waukegan. Governor Pritzker signed the legislation Friday, and he'll stop off in the northern Illinois city Monday for a ceremonial re-signing. Waukegan officials must appear before the Illinois Gaming Board within 120 days to show an owner-operators in place. The land-based casino can have up to 2,000 gaming positions with a minimum of 1,600 to start. Jan Coleman, News Radio, 105.9 FM.
An autopsy has failed to determine what killed a man from Waukegan who died in police custody.
31-year-old Avian Cotton had just been released from jail on Thursday following a March drug arrest and pulled up to a home where Waukegan police were about to execute a narcotics search warrant. Police said he put what they called an unknown white substance in his mouth and tried to run. They say he refused to spit it out while being arrested. Cotton became distressed, according to police, and paramedics took him to a hospital where he died. An autopsy found no signs of physical trauma. The coroner, Howard Cooper, said multiple bags containing a white rock-like substance were found in his stomach and esophagus. Toxicology results are pending. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 FM.
WBBM News Time, 10:34.
CBS News update. President Trump has proposed a quick meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un while he's visiting South Korea. CBS's Paula Reed with the details.
Earlier today, the president tweeted an invitation for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, asking him to meet him at the border between North and South Korea so the two men could shake hands and say hello. A North Korean official described the prospect of a Kim-Trump meeting at the border a very interesting suggestion. If the president was to step into North Korea, he would be the first sitting U.S. president to do so.
President Trump says trade talks with China are back on track and that the U.S. will hold off on imposing more tariffs. Bloomberg correspondent Kevin Cirilli.
He also said that the U.S. has agreed to ease some of the restrictions against Chinese telecommunications firm Huawei. That might face some pushback this weekend from not just Democrats and congressional leadership, but also some key Republicans like Senator Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio.
CBS News update. I'm Wendy Gillette.
WBBM News Time, 10:35. A Senate bid to limit presidential war powers has come up short.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 40. The 60-vote threshold having not been achieved, the amendment is not agreed to.
An amendment to a defense bill that would have required congressional approval before the president can order military action fell 10 votes short in the Senate Friday. 4 Republicans joined most Democrats in supporting the failed amendment. The White House and Pentagon had written a letter opposing the amendment. Earlier in the week, President Trump asserted he doesn't need congressional approval to engage militarily with Iran. The House will likely try to attach its own limits on military action against Iran with its defense bill next month. Mike Gracia, Washington.
A reminder, you can stream WBBM through our website or the radio.com app, or just ask Alexa or Google Home to play WBBM News Radio. Traffic, weather, low gas prices, all coming up next. WBBM News Time, 10:36.
When you come to Ziegler Cadillac in Lincolnwood, you can expect great service, great value, and a huge selection of Cadillacs. And right now, it's the best time to buy your new Cadillac at Ziegler Cadillac. Get 0% financing for 72 months on new 2019 Escalade with approved credit through GM Financial. And choose from over 500 new and pre-owned cars available, including the Cadillac XT5. All at the Ziegler Autoplex in Lincolnwood. Ziegler Cadillac, minutes from downtown Northbrook and Schaumburg. Or shop online at ZieglerGMCadillac.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. I began paying employees in 1988. I would handwrite checks and say, here you go, don't cash it until Tuesday. But a teenage employee said his dad wanted to see his pay stub. Pay stub? We don't have pay stubs. Get back to work. He said,
Dad works for the government, and state law requires that I receive a pay stub.
crud. Now I'm supposed to be an expert on withholding payroll taxes and create pay stubs? That's why I created Patriot Software, to help employers with 1 to 100 employees do their payroll correctly with pay stubs. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
Software.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM, WBBM.
Sponsored by Flag Chevrolet in Grays Lake. Join them today from 9 to 2 for a car show and free barbecue supporting the Lake County Honor Flight. Visit flagchevrolet.com. And thanks to our listeners for the following gas prices in Aurora. The Buc-ee's Mobile on Eola in New York selling gas for $2.93 a gallon. And in Blue Island, the Thorntons on Burr Oak and Vincennes is gas for $2.99. If you see a lower gas price, please give us a call, 312. News Time, 10:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by the Chicago Bar Lawyer Referral Service. And here's John Suntress.
Rob, the sailboat run having the bridges up over the Chicago River to accommodate the sailboat run, so expect delays in the downtown and West Loop areas. On the Edens, no delays there. 19 minutes inbound or outbound between Lake Cook and the Kennedy Junction. Slow on the Kennedy, both directions, inbound from Cumberland to Harlem. Then it gets slow from North Avenue into the Byrne interchange. Right now, 31 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 19 from the junction. Express lanes are inbound, will save you a lot of time. 8 minutes inbound now from the junction to the Ohio feeder. On the outbound, Kennedy, slow from Division to Fullerton, then Lawrence to Harlem. 13 minutes downtown to Montrose, 27 back to O'Hare. Eisenhower, slow both ways. Inbound from Manheim to Harlem, then Western to the Byrne interchange. 37 minutes, now 390 to downtown. 24 from Manheim. Outbound slow from Central to First Avenue. 20 minutes downtown to Manheim. 33 minutes to 390. Stevenson inbound slow from First Avenue to before Central. 34 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 24 from the Tri-State. 10 from Cicero, no delays outbound. I-55 is clear. Inbound Ryan heavy from Stevenson to the Byrne interchange. 23 minutes now, 95th to downtown, no delays southbound. I-57 is clear in both directions. Inbound Bishop Ford slow from 115 to 103rd. 18 minutes now, 8094 to the Ryan. 15 minutes back to 8094 on the outbounds. Slow in both directions on Lakeshore Drive. Northbound from the Stevenson to Grand Park, then Navy Pier to Chicago Avenue. Southbound from the Oak Street curve.